Today I'm going to show you how to warp vocals in Ableton Live. Hey, it's Will from EDM Tips, where every week I give you music production tips to seriously up your electronic dance music production game. Today we are going to be warping vocals in Ableton Live. So why might you want to warp vocals? Well, if you've taken in vocals from another track and they're in a different tempo, you'll want to get that synced to the tempo of your track. Or if you've got vocals that are in a different key and they sound wrong, you obviously want to tune them to your track as well. Well, today I'm going to show you how to do both of those things. And without further ado, let's hop into the door and get it done. Oh, and if you want to learn how to mix absolutely badass vocals, then click the link on this video wherever it is, and I'll show you how to get your vocals sounding truly professional. Okay, let's do it. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to get your vocals in time with the track that you're working on. And then we're going to go on to the tuning thing afterwards. So if you look here, we've got, just imagine this track here is all of our different tracks that we're working on. I've just composed them into one file to make things easier. So we've got this, and it's at 126 BPM. And we want to get some vocals that match with that. Now the vocals that we've got are in the same key. This key happens to be in B flat minor, and I've just loaded these in from Splice, but you can see here in the title, it actually says that it's 140 BPM. This makes things easier for us because if we already know the BPM of the vocals and the BPM of our track, it's much simpler. So let's listen to them together and we'll just hear what it sounds like before doing anything.
Take me higher.
So we can hear they're in tune, but they're not in the right time. You'll notice I unwarped this. It's because I've got Ableton set up to warp long samples automatically in my preferences. But if that's the case, you have to unwarp it. And then as simple as clicking warp again, then writing in the correct tempo of the vocal that you've brought in, which in this case is 140 BPM. Choosing Complex Pro because it's the nicest, smoothest algorithm in Ableton for warping vocals. And now we're all in time. Lovely.
Take me higher off the ground.
But sometimes you'll see that the vocal won't start exactly where you want it to. So then it's a simple case of dragging back the clip to where you want the first transient to be, like so.
Take me higher off the ground.
And now perfectly in time.
We're on fire, but I need you now.
Now the other way you can pull that back into time is to do it within the clip itself, and that can be useful for the next thing I'm going to show you, which is how to adjust certain parts of the vocals if you just want one syllable moved or something like that. So if we go into the clip itself, zoom in here, we can just adjust the beginning marker here and you'll see it drags the vocal back. So again, we can hold Command and that's going to give us a bit more control so it's not stuck to the grid.
Take me higher off the ground.
Okay, so I'm going to pull it a bit further.
Take me higher off the ground.
That sounds in time to me. And if you want the beginning part of the vocal before the first transient, you can just pull that clip end back.
Take me higher off the ground. We're on fire. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher.
Now once you've pulled that back into place, if you right click on where you've moved the beginning of the clip to start playing, right click and then set 111 here. And this is because now if you pull back the beginning of the clip so you can hear that first transient,
Take me higher.
when we want to start pulling stuff into time, you can see it's all lined up pretty much to the grid, which is exactly what we want. If we hadn't set 111 to be in that new place, then it would be harder to do what we're about to do next. So let's see if we find something that's slightly out of time. How can we tweak that in?
Take me higher off the ground.
So I want that to be a bit tighter. You can see here the transients aren't quite hitting on the grid. So the way you do that is roll over this transient marker here, hold Command. I think you hold probably Control if you're using Windows. And then if you double click on that, if you roll over it and hold Command, you'll notice these two grey ones popping up on the transients either side of it. So now if we double click, we've now made them into proper warp markers, and we can just drag that back to the be on the grid. And with this one as well, we'll do the same thing, drag that to be back on the grid. This one we can drag slightly right to be on the grid, and now this vocal is going to be perfectly in time.
Take me higher, off the ground.
Perfectly in time. And it's as simple as that. Just make sure that you are creating a warp marker either side of the vocal that you want to move, like that. Otherwise, if you don't, then you'll see all of the vocals will move and you'll screw everything up. Okay, on to the next part, which is if you have got a vocal which is in a different key, what do you do then? So let's try that. Now the key here, no pun intended, is that you have a vocal that's in the same quality of key. Now what does that mean? If your track is written in a major key, if you pull in a vocal in a minor key and you want to make that match your track, it's going to be really hard and really messy, so it's best to match like for like. This track, for instance, as we've already discussed, is in the key of B flat minor, but if we've got a vocal in a completely different minor key, we can still make it work. So let's just get another vocal. We are going to do this in E minor. Just find a random vocal. I'm using Splice, which you can grab below this video. Okay, we're going to use that, so we'll just download it, drag it into our track. First, we're going to set the tempo to be correct, as we've already discussed. So we can see here it's 120 BPM. So I'm going to unwarp that, rewarp it, press 120 BPM in there, and now it's perfectly in time. But if you listen, it's now out of tune, because this is in the key of E minor, and our track's in the key of B flat minor. Okay, well that's very unpleasant. So this is how you do it. If you look on a keyboard, so I'm just going to open up a piano roll editor to show you. E is here on the keyboard. So that's where the scale of E minor starts from. Now our track is in B minor natural, which is here. So all we need to do is count up in semitones to where our key is. So this is E, which is where the vocals are recorded. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to B flat or A sharp, which is the same thing. So if we know it's 6 semitones up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all we need to do is go into our vocals, make sure that we've got Complex Pro selected, then up it by 6 semitones, and now it's going to be perfectly in key with our track. Now, if going up makes it too high, you can also count down to whichever note that your key is in. So if we count down, we'll start at E, which is where the vocals were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and it's 6 down to B flat or A sharp as well. So either way, you're either going up 6 or down 6 in this example. And you can actually play with the formants as well, which can change the sound. Sounds pretty cool. But I think going up sounds better. Okay, so what if you don't know the tempo of the vocals that you're working with? This is where things get a bit trickier, but this is how you do it. So we're bringing some more vocals. We'll bring them in the correct key just to make things easier. Okay, so let's just pretend that we don't know what tempo these vocals are. I mean, we do because we can see it's got it written in Splice, but let's just pretend we don't.
We got to work it out. I'm tired of hearing the excuses. Your words don't mean nothing, it's useless.
Right, so what do you do in that instance? Well, what I suggest doing is first turning off your music, so you've just got the vocal, finding the first transient of that vocal, which would be that we, and again just shifting over, so that's the first part of the clip.
We got to work it out.
And then we can hear
We've got to work it out.
We can work out what that tempo is. Now, this is where you just change the tempo in Ableton, put the metronome on so we can hear it,
We've got to.
and then just find the right tempo by starting it and stopping it and listening to it.
We've got to.
Like you're mixing two tracks like a DJ.
We've got to work it out.
You can also use this as a visual cue. So I can see here that now this looks pretty much in tempo.
We've got to work it out. I'm tired of fearing the excuses. Your word don't mean nothing, it's useless.
So I know this is in about 100 BPM. So once you've worked out what BPM that your vocals are, again, you can just press warp, choose the right algorithm, make sure you write in the right BPM, which is 100. And then you can go back to the tempo of your track, which was 126. That's what we were writing it in. And now it's going to be the right tempo.
We've got to work it out. I'm tired of fearing the excuses. Your word don't mean nothing, it's useless.
And then you can shift it round to the best place to start those vocals. So I think it would be here.
We've got.
Yeah. And then let's drag it back. So we've got the pre-transient.
We've got to work it out. I'm tired of fearing the excuses. Your word don't mean nothing, it's useless.
And there you have it, guys. That's how you warp vocals in Ableton, how you tweak them to your needs, how you match them to the right key and the right tempo. If you want to know how to mix vocals like a professional, click on the video that's popping up around the place right now, and I show you exactly how to do that, every step of the process, to mix really full sounding, professional sounding vocals. And if you want to download my mixing guide for free, you can do so below this video. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know in the comments if you're going to use this technique, and let me know what you want me to cover on this channel. This Friday we are going to be doing a huge in the style of video, as I like to do each Friday. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to make sure that you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, cheers and happy producing.